Green flag in the air for this first Middleport Mechanical Thunderstock heat. Good start by Casey Huffman up on the high side.
Yeah, Kyle Andrus didn't get up to speed as quick, and that boxed up Liverence in behind him. Now he'll move to the inside down the backstretch. They definitely have things sorted out on the 40 machine now and got rid of the fuel issues as Mark Bazine leads over Huffman, Plazik, and Liverence. Now Dickey to fifth.
Chris Dickey up on the outside in that one machine as Liverence gets a bit of a push going into the first turn. Had to roll out of the throttle to avoid contact with Adam Plazik, so Plazik up to third in that 41.
Across the stripe, Mark Bazine leads over Casey Huffman, Adam Plazik, and Chris Dickey in that fourth position. Mark Fawcett with a flat tire and hot laps working from the back here in this heat. He's 3 wide, heading into 3 with Go Fast Teeple and Liverence.
Jay Liverence struggling with the setup on that race car. He made some contact the last lap with Chris Dickey. Not sure if that messed up the alignment on that race car, but he's really struggling getting into turn 3 and getting that car to take a set.
Cross flags go up in the air for Mark Bazine of the Burger Barn Ace 1 Construction Inc. Motors machine as he sails it into corner 1. With Huffman and Plazik now going at it for the second spot. Plazik works the inside line in that white 41.
Go Fast Teeple starting to mount a challenge for the fourth spot as well as he's looking to the inside of Chris Dickey. Plazik down low through 3 and 4 in the 41 machine as Casey Huffman works up the racetrack. Plazik going to lead by a nose at the stripe.
Bazine, Plazik, Huffman, and a 3-wide fight behind them for the fourth spot. Dickey has it. Teeple and Rulifs are right there side by side behind him going into 3.
Great battle out there as Bazine continues to drive away in that Burger Barn number 21X. Adam Plazik has finally cleared Casey Huffman, but Huffman charging back to the outside.
Mark Bazine hooked up and gone as this time by he will cross the stripe to the white flag with Plazik in the second spot. Huffman there side by side. Teeple and Dickey as they work it off the corner. Dickey still holds down position 4.
This track is really taking shape right now. Look at how wide it is for these Thunderstocks. White flag for Andrus, and the checkered flag will fly for Mark Bazine. Burger Bar number 21 to victory lane. Plazik Auto Recyclers 41 finishes second. The Shed in a Day number 13 of Casey Huffman third. Then it's the Strickland's GMC number 1 of Chris Dickey. And the Beamsville Fish and Chips number 11 of Go Fast Teeple.
Into some of the B mains that are needed. Feature lineup tonight will be the Crate Sprints, Mini Stocks, 360s, and we'll end with the Thunderstocks tonight.
Ready for green in our second to last heat race of the evening. The Middleport Mechanical Thunderstocks are underway for heat race number 2.
Off they go down into the corner. And Hoskins leads in the middle with Blake Bomberry on the outside. Mike Thorne, who rejoined this division a few weeks back, sitting there in the third spot.
Thorne working the bottom of the racetrack. Turkey up high. Ryan Beagle has a thought to go through the middle. He's still thinking the middle of the racetrack as they work down into turn number 1.
Hoskins gets a little bump from Blake Bomberry there off the corner. Look at the run by Ryan Beagle down into corner 3 as Hoskins scoots up the track. So it's Bomberry and Beagle side by side.
Rob Hoskins, something amiss on that 37, so he slows up down in 3 and 4, lets the field go by, and I believe he's going to take it to the pits. Ryan Beagle takes advantage in that 84 machine, and he works all the way to the front, and now Hoskins is back up to speed.
Beagle leading off of corner number 4. Side by side for second, it's Hale and Bomberry, then it's Turkey and Lampman back and forth and 5th.
And that's the father, Jim Lampman, in 5th. His son, Donnie Lampman, back there in the 8th spot with nowhere to go. They're side by side in front of him.
Ryan Beagle leads at the halfway point of this one. He's out in front over Chris Hale, Blake Bomberry, and Frank Turkey. Now Donnie Lampman up to the 5th spot as Jim Lampman slows on the backstretch.
Yeah, Jim Lampman, after Rob Hoskins slowed a few laps ago and stayed on the racetrack, now Jim Lampman slows and he's staying on the racetrack. I think the rear end is askew on that car. Rear end dancing all over the place in that 28. Clinton will have to tell me what do they use to locate the rear end in these cars, Clint? And Clint's back in the pits working away, so if he hears that, he'll check in at some point.
I believe this is a leaf spring car, so shackles are keeping it under it, but I don't see it loose, Adam. Maybe you're seeing something I'm not. We'll have to see. And there, yeah, I see a little wiggle with the rear end. We'll follow that one up and get back to you. But, yeah, leaf spring car, I believe it's just the shackles that keeps it straight underneath.
So Lampman takes that car back to the pits.
Ryan Beagle works it off a corner 4 to the checkered flag, picking up Heat Race 2 victory. And Chris Hale second, Blake Bomberry third, followed by Turkey. And Donnie Lampman at the line. Mike Thorne back there as well. And the
happy birthday to Sandy Pachetti, 70 years old, from the 07 Thunderstock. Brian Pachetti is in this race. Green flag is out there down into turns 1 and 2. Trevor DeBoer is out front. They're 4 wide for the 3rd spot behind Logan Schwedick.
Trevor DeBoer works it off a corner 4. Really pitched that car sideways, works it down the banking and across the stripe to lead the lap. Schwedick tucked in behind him with Bailey, the point leader, right there with him. Dinning and Sargent worked the bottom in those Club 54 racing machines, and we got a spinner in corner 2.
Gord Grant in that 4G, I believe, or is a 5G, goes around in turn 2, gets the car pointed in the right direction. And look at this 5-car battle at the front of this one.
There's a lot of feature wins there in that bunch. As Trevor DeBoer works it down the backstretch, Dinning, Schwedick, Bailey, and Sargent. Sargent wisely backed out of it on the backstretch there.
What do you call a group of Camaros like that? Like seagulls or a flock?
I don't have anything.
No, well, I really didn't give you much to work with there. But
I'd say a gaggle, but that's geese.
That's true. One of them is called a murder. Did you know that? It's true. Crows, that's correct. I almost taught you something, Greg, but instead it was Darren. What a battle. One of the best races of the year, and here I am. Wasting it.
3 wide off the 4th corner. The best of this division all going at it. Trevor DeBoer, Logan Schwedick.
Oh, there's one around in turn 1.
Gord Grant right there.
He had a great view of that battle. Wow, look at them go.
He could see the whites of their eyes.
Look at they're coming right for us. You don't know what you're missing.
So 5 laps on the board, come back single file here on the restart. Trevor DeBoer leads him over Logan Schwedick, Ryan Dinning, Dave Bailey, and Ken Sargent.
I got some great suggestions on what you call a group of Camaros, but some of them I can't say. Do you know any compound words that start with cluster, Greg?
I'm staying out of this. Trevor DeBoer leads over Dave Bailey, Ryan Dinning, and Logan Schwedick hanging in the 4th spot. White flag comes out.
One more time around as DeBoer leads the way over Bailey. Bailey up the outside of 1 and 2. He gets a run up on the rear bumper of the 24 DeBoer. He'll head to the outside down into 3 and 4. Bailey with a nice run off the fourth turn. The checkered flag is in the air. Bailey for the win. DeBoer, Schwedick, Dinning, Sargent, Lampman, Pachetti, and Grant.
Ouch, Ed. Ed, you hurt me. Says you had that view a few times last night, Greg, talking about Gord Grant facing the lead.
Alongside him is the number 29 of Robbie General. The 32 is Mark Fawcett. The 40 is Jay Liverance. I'm sorry, the 40 is Derek Liverance. Jim Lampman drives the 28. The 37 is Rob Hoskins. The 327 is Trevor Jones. Gord Grant in the 5G. The 07 is Brian Pachetti. And the 13 is Casey Huffman. Double green flags, and we are underway.
Quite a battle going on mid-pack right now. You've got them stacked 4 deep in locations as they head down into corner 3, trying to sort everyone out. So far, clean and green here, coming to complete lap number 1. Mark Bazine, the leader, over Chris Dickey and Go Fast Teeple.
Bazine out in front in that Burger Barn 21. Then is the Strickland's GMC number 1 of Chris Dickey in second, getting a nice run up off of turn number 2. He's running with a borrowed motor from Mike Thorne, one of the spare motors from the Thorne team. It seems to be doing all right for him at the moment.
2 laps on the board in this 20-lap feature event for the Middleport Mechanical Thunderstocks. One goes into the infield.
That was a chain reaction wreck, and Derek Liverance was on the wrong end of the chain.
Clear on the inside of the infield here is Liverance, so we stay green with 3 laps on the board. Mark Bazine out in front over Ryan Dinning. Go Fast Teeple. Jeff Ruleff's up there in the 4th position, and then they're stacked 3 deep for position number 5 with Chris Dickey on the bottom, Ryan Beagle in the middle, and Adam Plazik outside.
Adam Plazik has a bit of a bobble there in turn 3. I think he had to take evasive action to avoid making contact with Ryan Beagle. As we got a battle for the lead, Ryan Dinning noses out ahead of Mark Bazine.
Ryan Dinning, that Club 54 Camaro has been solid here in 2019. Hasn't come up with the amount of wins he would like here this year, but I would say that Ryan Dinning's got to be happy that he's back in the right direction considering where he was a year ago.
Yeah, he's looking at a strong finish out here, that's for sure. And look at this battle for third. Go Fast Teeple. He has really struggled in the late stages of this season. Jeff Ruleff's in the 6 and Ryan Beagle up on the high side in that 84.
Point champion right now riding inside the top 10, Dave Bailey.
Trouble in 4. Rob Hoskins is nosed up to the outside wall. I'm not sure what went wrong in that 37 machine. So I want to share some of what Chris Dickey said with us about his career at Ohsweken Speedway. And
main thing,
we should give him a hard time and say, look, Jim Lampman has like 7 cars here and his son drives one of them, so Chris just needs to grow his fleet a little bit. Ryan Dinning in the 8 machine, Mark Bazine in the 21. They're going to lead the way back to the green flag. 6 laps are complete. 20 laps is the distance.
Ryan Dinning back to the fun pedal, leads him down into corner number 1 with Mark Bazine in tow, and then they're stacked up behind him. Jeff Ruleff's working that outside line. That 6R is working well tonight.
Yeah, really impressive drive by Jeff Rulef as he's hanging in there, really moving forward here as he works the outside of Bazine off of turn number 4 as they'll touch on the front stretch.
Jeff, one of those drivers from down in the Chatham, Ontario region, and it was announced this week that Southern Ontario Motor Speedway will be closed for the remainder of the year after their fire that took place down there a couple of weeks. So bad news down there for all those fans. We're thinking about those fans and competitors that don't have a home track to race on the rest of the year, but good to see some of their regulars coming up and joining us here tonight and last week as well.
A devastating fire as Ryan Beagle's driving it deep into the corners, but Jeff Ruleff's still with that preferred outside groove, able to make the run on the high side and stay ahead of the 84. Behind them, it's really bottling things up as now Beagle will clear the 6R, and so will the 25 of Ken Sargent.
If Ryan Dinning had a rear view mirror, he would love what he's seeing right now because it's a A lot of beating and banging, some good hard racing behind him, and he's been able to stretch the lead out here. Coming to the cross flags, Dinning in the Club 54 Camaro leads the way over his teammate Ken Sargent.
Halfway through, 10 laps down, 10 laps to go in this Thunderstock feature event, and here comes Dave Bailey making the move on Ryan Beagle for third.
So Dinning works it off of corner 4, completing lap number 11. Then it's Sargent and Bailey, second and third. Ryan Beagle riding back and forth. Fifth right now is that number 23 machine of Trevor DeBoer, second place in points coming into tonight. Jeff Roloff's in the 6th, back to the 6th spot. Logan Schwedek running in 7th. 8th, Mark Bazine, who led for a time here tonight. 9th, his teammate Mike Thorne. And 10th, Go Fast Teeple. 11th right now, Adam Plasick. 12th is Mark Fawcett. Looks like 13th is Christopher Hale. Frank Turkey right behind him in 14th. 15th, Chris Dickey. 16th is Blake Bomberry. And back in the 17th spot. Who is it tonight? Oh, it's Brian Pachetti. That's right. Haven't seen him in a long time here, but behind the wheel of the 07 here tonight. 18th is Kathleen Lampman, or nope, that's Donnie Lampman.
Robbie General, maybe.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I had to look twice on the starting grid. So who's driving that 29 this time? Dinning is under attack from Dave Bailey in the 49. It's a 3-car battle at the front of the field with just over 5 laps to go.
Yeah, and that time that I did the field rundown, Dave Bailey worked his way up there to compete with Ryan Dinning, and Ryan had a sizable lead going on, and now he's got to look and say, it's him again.
He raced him very politely last week, his battle with Dave Bailey for that win. He's running in on the bottom of the racetrack, and I think if Dinning can get those left side tires down in the moisture at the bottom, he can get a good run here as laps wind down in this one.
Dave's got the championship locked up. So tonight, does Ryan rethink it if he has the chance?
Turn him. Come on, Dinning, you got a front bumper for a reason.
Bailey leads down the backstretch over Dinning, Sargent, DeBoer, and Ryan Beagle. The top 6 have broken away. Logan Schwedek's in that mix as well.
I really like this line Dinning's running. He slowed down a little bit to go even faster when he can get those left side tires down in the moisture. The clay is a lot tackier where it hasn't been dried out from all this racing. It'll be 2 laps to go this time for Dave Bailey.
Got to give a mention out to Mike Thorne, who's done a nice job to come up. Oh, that was close for the race leaders. His lap car. Trevor Jones pulls into the infield. But Mike Thorne started deep in this one. He's running up in the 8th spot, and this has been a year he'd like to forget, I think. But having a good solid outing in that number 55 Burger Barn machine.
One slower car for these leaders to overtake. White flag is out, 1 more lap to go. And with the line Robbie General's running, that may not do any favors for Ryan Dinning.
No, that bottled things up, and that allows Ken Sargent now to drop even to Ryan Dinning as they go into 3. Your champion sails through 3 and 4, and he's going to cap it off with 1 more win. Dave Bailey goes to Mr. Transmission victory lane, and Ken Sargent gets by Ryan Dinning at the line. Put Dinning back to 3rd. That'll be Trevor DeBoer and Ryan Beagle, your top 5. Logan Schwedek, 6th. 7th, Jeff Roloff's. 8th will be Mike Thorne. 9th, I believe, will be Mark.
Up the sky, but great job by all of our drivers tonight in putting on a phenomenal show. Clinton Jeffries in victory lane.
How about a big Osh Weekend Speedway Mr. Transmission victory lane welcome for Dave Bailey. Smelling some nasty stuff. Was that coming out of your car?
That's probably Ryan's. We get a look at that stuff every week, changing racetracks. So I don't know. Hopefully it's not me.
Solid run, though, Dave. I mean, this year's been picture perfect, and it seems like your car's been faster than ever these past few 4 weeks or so. Started the back last week, got wrecked, drove back up to the win. Today had to start deep in the field, drove back up to the win. What's the secret?
We had issues at Merrittville, I don't know, July 1st or something, and it kind of wasn't the same. And Trevor was in the garage looking at the car a couple weeks back, and he noticed that something was missing. And ever since we figured that out, it's been a rocket ship. So thanks to him for having a good eye.
You picked up some new sponsors this year. What does it mean to take them to the championship?
Oh, that's awesome for these guys. I really got to thank Queenston Chev, Transaxle, Transport Sales and Service, and especially Mark at Jibs Action Sports. And Thanks to Mav TV for putting this deal on tonight. It's awesome. And Tony with Pinty's, thanks. It's awesome that we get to do this on live TV.
There you have it, your champion. Dave Bailey gets it done. We'll get a word with teammates who finished second and third tonight, guys.
7th win of the season for Dave Bailey. 5th championship in a row. Not much more you can say about that, Adam.
He's not crazy about doing interviews, Greg, but he's so good at telling a story. He's always got something to talk about that's interesting. Clinton Jeff.
Great run, Kenny. What's your thoughts?
You know what? First and foremost, it is all about Coop. All our thoughts are with him. You know, he's having some health issues. And as a team effort, and I'm just glad that Ryan and I can put both the Club 54 cars on the podium. And you know what? It's been a great season. I love the track. I love the fans. I love everybody here. Thanks for coming out. And we'll see you next week for the end of the year.
All right, there you have it from Ken Sargent. His teammate Ryan, first obvious question Adam wants to know, why would you not put the bumper to him? He's already champion. If you're going to do it, this was your free pass, Dinning.
I don't know. He used it pretty good when he got around me, but one of these days I think I'm going to have to again to win one of these things. I don't know what else to do.
Solid drive, though, Ryan. You got to be pleased.
Oh, yeah, I'm pleased. Too bad the lap car got in there and gave second away to Kenny, but it's good that we're both up here on the pad, so a good night all the way around.
You really had your game together, too. Ryan Dinning. How about it for our top three tonight? Dave Bailey wins the feature in the championship. Ken Sargent second. Ryan Dinning third for the Club 54 team. That's it, guys.